Are you listening? Damn. Yeah.
And Alexei slams a right. Another right hand over the top with the head.
And he rocks down the rear naked here.
Needs to fight those hands, turn into.
And he's sleeping.
JP, too much St. Louis.
Another episode of Trash Talk. Tonight we have a new edition of Inside the Trash Can. With me as always is TJ O'Connor. Tonight we have JP Too Much St. Louis. Trash Talk is brought to you again by Valhalla Combat Sports Incorporated, Ink Shrinks Tattoo out of New Brighton, Minnesota, The Fighters, and TJ's mom.
Oh.
How you doing tonight, JP?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Doing good.
Yeah, I'm doing well. I can't complain.
Yeah. So I heard you just had some interesting fight news drop for you.
Yeah, I got my fight date. Don't have all too much yet, but I know February 21st. Going to be in Minnesota, LFA card. So just happy to come back. I've had 2 fights there so far, so looking to just keep on going back, and that's kind of like my new home, honestly.
Oh, yeah. Well, you only had 2 fights here, which is kind of funny because I've always thought you had a pretty huge fan base, especially the last time you've been here. I mean, man, for a guy that's not here, you're definitely one of the fan favorites.
I mean, that's really cool because I didn't even know. I don't ever really hear the crowd because I'm always walking out with my headphones and kind of focus on the fight, so I never really hear much besides I know for my May 31st fight, I heard my girlfriend and like the girls that came from the gym, they're all sitting in the front row. I heard them. I try to tune it all out. I pay attention to it when I'm out, when I'm done and finish the person, you know?
Yeah. Well, one of the things my coach has always said, because he's a firm believer in coaching at practice and stuff too, like as we're doing our drills and everything, you know, so that we get used to hearing their voice. And I just think sometimes you're just around people enough, like when they talk, no matter how stressful the situation is, somebody might stand out at a point in time.
Yeah.
You know, and that's kind of funny, you know. But I mean, do you ever hear anybody else that randomly, you know, just like somebody in the stands that you might not even know? Because I've heard people like heckle before, and it's like, how did I even pay attention to that? But I can't hear my coach right now.
Yeah, I had my fight. I fought Bobby Downs in Iowa in March this year, and I walk out to Lil Boosie, set it off.
Yeah.
The beat dropped, and I heard the music going. As soon as the first part where he's like, "You want to talk shit," I hear this lady. She's rapping the words and she's going like hard on it. Like, damn, I haven't even walked out yet. I'm letting the anticipation build up a little bit, and I just hear her rap, and I'm like, "Yo, who is this lady?" I want to go and walk up to her, shake her hand or something, or just like bring her up with me to get me geeked up. But I heard her, and then I heard like it was funny. I was fighting in his hometown, so behind me, I guess he had like cage side people, fans, and they're all like, "You're gonna get knocked the fuck out, boy! Like, you watch out, it's coming." Blah blah. They're talking mad shit, and I'm trying to like ignore them, but I couldn't help it. I just started laughing. I was like, everything that you're saying, it really doesn't matter. It's like I don't care, and it's not gonna change the outcome of what happens. But it's like it was making me laugh.
Yeah. and that's what's funny, and that's what shows the egos of people, that they feel like their opinion in that moment is what matters. Boo! It's like, oh, okay, I'm gonna go fight that guy either fucking way. I don't really care.
It's like, oh no, I'm scared now.
Oh shit! This
It's
guy
like, if I was gonna lose this fight, it wasn't because you were talking shit to me. It's like, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
now, what
sorry.
I was gonna say is, Damien did mention, you know, you're a fan favorite up here, and I would attribute that to your fighting style. I feel like your fighting style, aggressive is an understatement. I mean, you throw everything from everywhere. I mean, I've seen you throw head kicks from about a foot away from the guy, clinch range, and you're throwing head kicks. Is that something that you like to focus on, is just being unorthodox and throwing, not unorthodox as far as technique, but in how you set things up and throw things at times?
I think it would contribute to. It's been a running joke in the gym right now. It's the cowabunga it is. Mine, you know, if you've seen the meme, I mean, at the end of the day, I always attribute it to I'm just trying to fuck that person up, and I'm trying to fuck them up before I get fucked up. It has caused me some to take some L's, but it's something that I've learned to be smarter, a little bit more composed, and set things up a lot better. Because before I was throwing whatever,
Yeah.
matter what I was doing. It's like I was just trying to throw heat, but now it's like I've slowed it down. My coach Scott Cushman has me being more methodical, setting things up, still being aggressive. You can still be just as aggressive, but I'm just not, like you said, trying to throw a head kick when I'm right next to the person.
Yeah.
Get some trouble before, so I'm not trying to make the same mistakes. Still trying to keep the same intensity, but not be the same idiot fighter I was before.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off at all. One of the things that I noticed from the progression of your amateur career all the way up till now as a pro is there was a few fights I've seen that you have a lot of submission wins, of course, know, but you take the guy down and then submit him. Nowadays, you're putting the guy down and then submitting him. Yeah. What has been the changing factor as far as that? Have you always had this power and felt it, or is it something that you started to feel as of late?
Like in terms of like taking the person down, like wrestling wise, or
and then putting them down with the head kick or a punch.
Yeah. I mean, like as of recently, my last fight, 2018, and I lost that one. And in the back room, actually, he's right here. My roommate Biggie, and then also Gerald, they're like, yo, you gotta like work on getting like your wrestling game up, opening up a little bit, like becoming a little bit more, I guess, diverse with my style. Yeah. Before it really was just I'd hit the shit out of somebody, they try to take me down, or it's like I drop them or whatever it is, and then I go and submit them. But now it's like it's not always gonna work. You're not always gonna be able to hit someone. People got tough chins out there. Yeah. So they were like, you gotta open it up, clinch people, get the takedown, get on top, beat them up, and then submit them. So after I took a little bit of a break off of training to like let myself heal a little bit, I made it a point where it's like now it's like I'm setting the pace for everything. It's like I'm striking, I'm putting you on the cage, I'm gonna beat you up there, I'm gonna take you down, I'm not letting you get shit on the ground. I'm gonna just try to suffocate you, cut you open, and then go and submit you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That sounds a well-rounded game plan.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Is
what were you saying, TJ?
No, I'm sorry. I was gonna say that just goes to show the high-level coaching, because if you're knocking guys out and tapping them out, if you had that wrestling in, I mean, they're gonna get to a point where what hand do they play?
Yeah, and that's what it's all about. I mean, you look at my fights; they've all been pretty exciting, honestly. But my wins, they've been very dominating. Yeah. And early on, it was mostly just striking. It's like, all right, he's a guy who strikes, but if you try to take him down, he'll submit you. Now it's like you don't know where I'll finish you, but I can finish you anywhere. So it's just I feel like it helps for the next fight. It's like I'm going into it. The guy's worried about it's like, oh shit, if I try to take him down, he'll submit me. If I'm not, he'll take me down and submit me. Or it's like if we stay here too long, he might just knock me the fuck out. So it's giving me that little bit of an edge and confidence boost when I go in there, because we all know fighting is a mental game. So it's like if I can beat them mentally without even having to do anything, makes it cool. But if you're not broken, it's like I'll just break you in there. It's like
yeah, put a few dents in the hood. But,
yeah.
Oh man, no. But what was your first martial art? I mean, how did you even get into all this?
My first martial art was my first martial art was Hapkido, and it was when I was 11. I did that for a year and a half, I think. Had lots of fun. I was in the adult classes, so I was taking it a little bit more serious, and I was bigger than all the other kids. So you guys
no way.
Yeah. So that started that. Like I always had a love for martial arts. My dad trained some karate back when he was living in Haiti. my uncles trained, and we would always like roughhouse, and I would slap box, fighting in the bathrooms, fighting on the playgrounds, trying to do the Kimbo Slice thing.
Yeah.
Until I started judo after I graduated. I forgot what age I started it at, but that was like my first real training where I was actually in there for about 3 years before I left.
Yeah.
And so that was the first martial art base that I had.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry to get a little bit off topic of the martial art, but I heard you say Haiti. Are your parents from Haiti?
Yeah, both parents were born in Haiti.
Okay, and then you mentioned Kimbo Slice, and I'm pretty sure he's from Haiti as well, or his parents are.
Is he? You might.
No, I don't know. I thought his parents were. I'm sorry.
Caribbean. Some.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, is that what made you a fan of his? But I could maybe it's just Kimbo being a badass. I'm like,
we all came from Africa. We just got off different spots, so it's like pretty similar, I guess.
yeah.
So I did. I was a big fan of his. That's how I actually became a fan of Masvidal. I saw him
Yeah.
backyard leagues, and I always thought fighting was fun in terms of like I'd get in the little scuffles or like, hey, we're gonna box after. So
Yeah.
and that kind of always like brought me to it. And Kimbo was just a dog in those days. I mean, didn't have the best MMA career, but in those street fights, it was fun. So
Oh man,
like that.
These kids nowadays, they don't know that Kimbo put YouTube on the map. YouTube wasn't shit before Kimbo. He knocked a dude's eyes out. So if you go watch those Kimbo fights.
If people say that they don't get excited watching Kimbo, I don't believe them. Even if it's street fighting and stuff. I mean, dude, he was the guy, and everybody loved him. I mean, I loved it.
I love Kimbo.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. But just kind of getting back onto it. So you mentioned martial arts has kind of just been an aspect of your life. It was something your family was involved in. When did you actually make the decision to put on a pair of gloves and jump in a cage and fight a guy?
I think my first MMA fight was April 2012, and I wasn't allowed to fight MMA. I wasn't even really allowed to fight. I just kind of kept forcing it with my dad. It was bad. Like I was probably I was getting a little reckless with my mouth, so probably getting close to getting kicked out of the house because I wanted to fight, and kept saying no. And then finally, I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I might just grab one of my own. So I was at this event. They're like, hey, are you gonna finally fight MMA? We've been trying to get you on a card. Because they had known that a few of their guys would go and train over at our gym. And I was like, yeah, I'll take one. I was like, when is it?
I'll take one of those, please.
Much. And then maybe a month before the fight, I was like, hey, Dad, I have an MMA fight. And he was like, what? And we like argued a little bit, but he still showed up. He showed up to all my fights that he could. So even though he hates it and it made us argue a lot, he still supports. So yeah,
no. That's how you know you got real support, when the people around you are supporting you and doing something they don't want you to do.
Yeah.
So I mean, I know that's got to feel good knowing that he's showing up still.
Yeah.
No. So, oh man, no, that's great, dude. I mean, but how many parents actually do want their kids to fight? Like, like if I love fighting. Fighting's my favorite sport, but my kid's gonna play baseball. Like, I already have it planned out.
I'll have him compete, like do jiu-jitsu tournaments and stuff.
Yeah.
But it's dangerous, and it's really like when you look at it from the outside, it's like, man, this is stupid. But for us doing it, it's like, oh man, I love it.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah, and you have to get into that for the love of it. I mean, if anybody ever told me they got into fighting for the money, I'd ask them if they're a little stupid.
Yeah.
Probably are, honestly.
Oh man.
Money, I haven't made much.
No.
Really, just investing time.
It's one of those things where it's like, hopefully it comes, but right now I'm pursuing a passion, and yeah, dude, and that's why I feel like we get such good performances out of you. I mean, dude, you're on a 3-fight win streak with three first round finishes, I believe.
Yeah,
man, dude, you're on a roll right now.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry, what were you gonna say?
No, I was just saying, yeah, thanks.
Yeah, well, you earned it, man. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, you're the one going out there putting in the work in the gym and going into the cage and performing well under the lights. You know, I mean, do you feel like there's extra pressure when when you're fighting versus competing in jiu-jitsu? Or, I mean, I know that's probably a stupid question, but I feel like just to get more in depth for the fans of yours.
I mean, I get nervous for every type of competition, and it's not like that I can't move and can't operate right, but I get the anxiety, I get the shakes. Even for jiu-jitsu competition, I'm like, man, it's like this isn't even a fight. If I lose, I'm gonna look like a bum. Just thinking like a whole bunch of stupid stuff, and I'm like, nah, I can't let these jiu-jitsu guys beat me. So, I mean, there's some pressure, but not as much. I'm like, I'm not getting punched in the face.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna get elbowed. So it's like I'm good. It's like I've competed at I wouldn't say like a higher level, but a little bit more to lose. So when I go into a jiu-jitsu tournament, I'm like, yeah, whatever. I'm nervous, but I can still go and fuck these guys up.
Yeah. Do you feel like there's a target on your back knowing that you have I don't know, such a prestigious fight career, you know, and knowing that you're one of the guys that's fighting and performing on LFA, getting submissions on the big stage. And now there's some guys that might not actually fight that you're going to be placed against in the bracket of the jiu-jitsu tournament, and they're going to go home and brag like, hey, I just beat a fighter in a jiu-jitsu tournament, guys.
Yeah.
You know, like that's one of the things that I always hated when I was going against guys in jiu-jitsu tournaments, because my jiu-jitsu wasn't the best. And when I would go into jiu-jitsu tournaments, I would try things that I wouldn't even do at practice. And then somebody beat me, and then I'd have to listen to them. Man.
I mean, honestly, like being a Rufus Sport fighter, I think there's a like not a target a sense. Yeah, I'd fuck it. Yeah, target.
Yeah.
People want to say they beat a Rufus Sport guy. It's like if you beat a Rufus Sport guy, it doesn't matter. They're like in their heads, they feel like they beat Anthony, they beat Serge or Paul or any of the guys that everyone sees in the UFC. So there's a on the back, but I'm one of those guys that's like I do better when I just don't care about any of the outside stuff. Just personality wise, I'm one of those people. It's like I shrug my shoulders and I keep going. It's like if there's a target on my back, whatever. Just because there's a target there, don't mean you're gonna hit it. And
Yeah.
it's
I like that.
Still gotta fight. So you can say I got a Rufus Sport guy, so I'm gonna beat this guy. It's like that's what your mouth's saying, but are you actually gonna be able to do it? And it's like, I don't have to say much. It's like I'm gonna go out there and I do the same thing. It's like I go out there and I really try to beat people up. And in my jiu-jitsu tournaments, it's like I try to make it violent or try to make it mean and make them hurt. It's like I know this is the gentle art, but it's like I'm still a fighter and this is still a fight. We're just not hitting each other with fists, but it's like I want to make the person go through some pain.
Oh, definitely. And you mentioned the target that training at Rufus Sport puts on your back. And just talking to you here today, I feel like that's something that you thrive off of because you're looking for a fight. So if guys want to fight the top guys, they're coming to try to find you and give you that opportunity. So it sounds like you're welcoming all challengers.
Yeah, I want the smoke. It's like, if you think you can bring it, go ahead. And it's like I've always been like that since I was a little kid. I don't go out really trying to start too much. It's like I can't say I don't go out starting stuff because I do have a mouth. But it's like, you know, there's always like the tough guys. They think it's like, oh, I'm gonna get him, blah blah. I'm like, all right, cool. It's like, let's go right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fighting, it's like, if you want to fight, go ahead. You can say everything that you want, but they're gonna lock us in, and it's like I'm swinging. It's like I'm gonna be smart. I'm smarter with it now, but it's like I'm still trying to fuck you up. I hope you have that same energy.
Yeah.
Oh man, hell yeah! I'm like I wish I wasn't as much as a hothead as I am. It's gotten me into, well, I guess I don't have any adult criminal record because I knew when I was as soon as I turned 18, I had to walk away, and Minnesota's not a stand your ground state, so it's fucking bullshit. If somebody challenges you to a fight, you should be able to punch him in the face. But
and a lot of us feel that way. I feel a good punch in the face will solve a lot of stuff, and a lot of people don't get hit. People haven't been beaten up. They let their mouth run, so they think they can say whatever they want. But it's like, if we were living in a world that we really wanted to, all those people with them smart ass mouths would have been fucked up a long time ago.
Exactly. I think of it like when I was a kid. My mom would tell me, I do something wrong, and I didn't know it was wrong, but my mom give me a whooping for doing it. Guess what I didn't do no more? Shit. Or
Hey,
so it's like I think
Yeah, pause it. Can I go grab my my charger? I didn't realize my laptop was about to die.
Oh yes, go for it. Go for it.
Yeah. No, I truly believe that people don't understand how humbling getting punched in the face is, and it should be a requirement not to let anybody punch you in the face, but if you earn it, you got to deserve it.
Yeah.
And it's like I've let my mouth run, and I've gotten beat up, taken an L. I've gotten running my mouth, whatever. So it's like, shit happens. It's like I wasn't tripping. I wasn't trying to press charges. It's like my dad would always tell me he would always say, it's like your mouth is gonna get you in trouble. Luckily, it never got me like, shot or stabbed.
Yeah.
I've definitely been punched and had people trying to beat the shit out of me. So,
dude, you're definitely one of the more badass dudes on the circuit. And for guys like you to say, like, yeah, I've taken an L for talking shit, like, because I've been there, dude.
Yeah.
And then how many street specialists have we run into that are undefeated. Never lost a street fight in their life ever? It's like
yeah, you're gonna get caught. People are gonna be like, "All right, you can fight." They're gonna just sneak you or something.
Yeah.
You're just gonna get hit with one. Shit happens. You just move on.
Yeah.
Ain't gotta shoot anybody. Can't stand that. It's like you lost. Just come back and be like, "Hey, we're gonna fight again until I win."
Yeah, right. Yeah, there's just some too where it's like, is the rematch worth it? Because it's like, I lost the dude, and then such and such might have jumped in. Yeah, who cares about that? Okay, I want my rematch. I want it to be 1-on-1. So I show up there with all my boys, and then we jump him, and then it's like, come on, now they're gonna come back and come jump my ass again anyway. It's just a revolving door. Like, it's like part of it has to be just being humble enough to take a fucking loss. I mean, dude, it's happened and it's gonna continue to happen. This is the world we live in.
Right.
But now getting back on to cage fighting and stuff. I mean, when has it been a way for you to like kind of direct your focus and stuff? Because there's times fighters have said that going to the gym and getting an exercise in, getting a workout in, you don't have time to even get mad at anybody. You're too exhausted. It's like, is that been a way of like to avoid confrontation as well?
I mean, it's probably like I don't have too much problems like getting into conversations with people right now and for the past few years because I don't go anywhere. Yeah. But I do know it's like I'm always in the gym, so it reduces the amount of time that I have to even go anywhere. And then on top of work and just other stuff, it's like, man, I don't care. It's like, whatever. I'm pretty laid back and I guess you would say indifferent to a lot of stuff. And I just really don't care. But there are times it's like I might get a little flared up, but I never know. It's like I'm one of those people where it's like I don't know exactly what might set me off by random things. And it's like, yo, the other day something worse happened to you and you didn't even get mad. Today it's something small and you're like trying to beat the shit out of everybody. So I don't know.
Dude, I understand that. I understand that so much. Dude, wow. I feel like you kind of described me a little bit. Yeah. Man. But what's the date of the fight again?
February 21st.
February 21st. And you don't actually have an opponent set yet? They're still looking for a guy for you?
Yeah, just know that my spot is reserved and that's when I'll be coming back.
Do you have a guy like in mind that you would want, or do you think that is there somebody that you think they're going to offer you?
To be honest, I have no idea. Like, I watch majority of the LFA cards, and I try to pay attention to the guys at 185, 170, and 155 because, you can get a guy from 155 who moves up, guy from 85 who drops down.
Yep.
And I just like seeing the other styles. It's like, I might fight him. It's like, and I watch the fights. It's like, how would I beat this person?
Yeah.
That's what I do for most fights. It's like I'm trying to think it through. It's like, what would I do if I was the guy fighting him? But no names really come to mind because I forget people's names.
Yep.
And it's mostly just like, I'm like, whatever. I'll just fight whoever it is. It's like, say this guy, it's like, you're going to have to be the guy that catches the fade that night.
Yeah.
It's nothing personal. I don't care. It's like, maybe I'll find someone who I might want to fight, but other than that, whoever they give me.
Yeah.
I love it. I love how you said it. I mean, clearly you're an equal opportunity provider. Anybody can catch it.
Right?
Yeah.
It's a fair fate act, you know?
Yeah.
Everybody can get it at any minute.
Oh, yeah.
That's beautiful, man. Well, JP, I really do appreciate you sitting down talking with us. Just before we wrap this one up today, are there any teammates, sponsors, anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah. First, shout out for a teammate. He's right here in the corner. I don't know if you'll be able to see him, but Mike Biggie
Yep.
he just got the knockout, won the 205 CFFC belt.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
And it was a really good knockout. Happy about that one. So got that. Gerald Mearshart. Always gotta give a shout out to those two. They've helped me out a lot. It's like I don't even think that I'd be here right now if it wasn't for them helping me so much. So, and I'm not even anywhere really. I'm still a scrub. It's like be here talking to you guys. And then we got Lenny Rufati or Liam Rufati, who's fighting tonight at the Ring of Combat, Atlantic City.
Nice.
And want to make nobody else is fighting. Rafion fighting December 21st in Hawaii for the Bellator card.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah.
All up to the big show, which he deserved years
Yeah.
ago, honestly. So I'm super excited to watch that one. And then just like my teammates, Craig Eckelberg, and then we got Jordan Newman. We got our Canadian friend, Christian Savoie. I don't really actually know how to say his last name.
I feel
But Brendan Allen, one of our visitors. And yeah, just the big guy squad. Jordan Newman, Bellator fighter as well, 185 guy. Those are the guys that I train with daily, so they got to get some love too. I mean, everybody at the gym gets love that I work with, you know. You don't get anywhere without getting help. And when I came to the gym, I was trash. I didn't know how to do much of anything besides swing hard. So
yeah.
help. You know, and Anthony Pettis, he's talked to me a lot this year about like just fighting mindset. Yeah, Scott, and you know all the coaches there.
I just want to point out one thing that you said. You said that you're not anywhere. You're still just a scrub. Well, I'll have you know, I could be wrong. Like my facts could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure LFA, the organization, was the one who wrote the song for TLC where they said, "I don't want no scrub." Sir, you are far from a scrub. I mean, my facts could be off, but the fact remains.
I appreciate that. I mean, one person I forgot, Bilal Muhammad.
Oh man,
can't believe I almost forgot to say him, but the guy, he's helped me a lot. Great training partner, great teammate, great friend. He'll do a lot for his teammates, help out. So that's another person I wanted to show love to. But I feel you. It's like, am I a scrub? No, but in the fighting world, it's like I know where I stand. I'm not.
Well,
no.
That mindset is gonna keep you driving and pushing forward.
Yeah. And I like to talk shit to myself. It motivates me. So
hell yeah.
I don't want to be a scrub anymore. So it's like, I got to keep winning. And I don't want people to keep thinking I'm Rafion Stotts. It's like, you know, Rafion is up here, and I haven't gotten to the level yet. And you Rafion Stotts. I'm like, no, JP St. Louis. Clearly, I haven't made it far enough to actually be distinguished from another black guy with a
Oh, man. Just please don't turn into Josh Koscheck and start dyeing your hair blonde. Oh,
hell,
my God.
that is so. I didn't even do it when people were like frosting the
Yeah, like I don't know. It's not that I don't judge anybody, but I'm just like, oh man, when people do that, it's like they're like Melvin Gillard. He's clearly doing it to stand out like a little bit more. But then it became him. Like that's how I recognize him now. So I can't talk shit.
It's weird.
But yeah, again, Hold on, sorry, what was that?
I was gonna say it's weird. People dyeing their hair. You can get fine, but it's
Each
like
their own. Yeah.
yeah, pretty much. It's like,
Yeah.
if you want to speak, but that's your opinion. That's your prerogative. Go ahead.
Yeah, right. But yeah, thanks again for being on with us. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate your time. Trash Talk is nothing without the fighters, man.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys having me, giving me a chance to go and talk a little bit about myself and let the people see my funny side.
Yeah.
Oh, man. You definitely left that shown, and it's always a pleasure talking to you. I look forward to speaking with you again before February 21st.
All right, thank you. Yeah, I'd love to come back on. I appreciate it.
Hell yeah.
Thank you, JP.
All right, have a good day.
You as
Yeah,
well.
me too. Thank you.
Are you listening? Damn.